Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Bird Cage. This is your host, Jay Bird. And so, I wanted to talk about good omens. Well, great omens. But, I wanted to talk about good omens and how good this show is. I want to start off with a little background information before I get into details. So, Good Omens is a show based off a book by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. It is on Amazon Video Prime, and it stars Michael Sheen, Frances McDormand, David Tennant, Sam Taylor Buck, John Hamm, and Miranda Richardson. Okay, now let's dig into Good Omens. Good Omens is so fucking good. Like, I'm gonna do my likes and dislikes, so I'm gonna start with my likes first. What I like about Good Omens, first thing is its acting. The acting is so good in Good Omens. You have Miranda Richardson, who is just amazing selling some of her. There's an episode where she's doing a seance. No, not to give a few things away, but she is so good at what she does. Michael Sheen is so good. I like him. Him and David Tennant's charisma is very believable, very good. John Hamm sells the whole archangel, I am above you, it is my job to keep order kind of thing, and I like that. He kind of makes you not like him, even though his job is to be the good guy. He kind of plays his good guy angle a little bit too hard, that way it makes him unlikable, and I think that was his job, was to make it unlikable. So yeah. Second thing is character development. From episode 1 to episode 6, there's a lot of character arcs that come full circle, whether it's Michael Sheen's character finally being comfortable, like overwhelmingly comfortable with his interactions with David Tennant's character finally being okay with this goody friend that he has. There's one episode where the first couple of minutes, like first 20 to 30 minutes of the show is like going over and recounting Michael Sheen's character and David Tennant's characters, their interactions with each other over time, whether it's going from the Garden of Eden all the way to England in the 1980s, 1990s, because I don't think it's current. Yeah, so it's either 1980 or 1990s. Third thing, they have a lot of weird jokes about the Christian faith, which is not surprising, being that Neil Gaiman, who is also the author of American Gods, and in American Gods, he takes a lot of jabs, but there are low-key jabs at the Christian faith. Here it is more overtly, being that it is Good Omens about, the end times and the Antichrist and whole angels and versus demons and shit. The jokes to the Christian faith are very on point. They are on the nose, and I love it. Even down to the whole Frances McDormand, spoiler, Frances McDormand plays God. She plays the voice of God. And it's very in your face. When I watched the first episode of it on Amazon, on Amazon it tells you who is playing what. And I was like, wait, what? She's who? But yeah. And then the depiction of Christian entities is my very last point on what I like, which kind of goes back to Michael Sheen. Michael Sheen is an angel, and how they depict him as very passive. He likes his literature, he likes his tea, he likes his crepes and everything, while the other angels don't really understand why he likes Earth so much. His angel name is Aziraphale, and then you have Archangel Michael, you have Archangel Gabriel, you have Sandalphon, you have Archangel Uriel, and they don't understand why do you like it so much. And Michael Sheen his character wants to stop the apocalypse, and they're like, no, our job is to fight. The inevitable, or what they believe is the inevitable plan that God laid out, was us to fight the demons, and he doesn't want that. And it's just very interesting how they depict that. Even going against them, you would think that them being angels, they are very forgiving and very loving towards their fellow angels and everything, but no, that's not how they are. And I like how they depict them like that, even down to the demons. How they depict the demons is although they have some form of order, it's very disorganized in hell, if that makes sense. And then kind of contrasts with it contrasts with heaven, and how heaven is very clean. There are no desks. The only thing you see is the globe of Earth, a symbol of Earth floating in the middle of the room. There's nothing there. Every now and then you'll see a chair too, but that's about it. Versus hell, how there's a desk everywhere and all that shit. Now, my dislikes. Some of the pacing was kind of off. That kind of bleeds over into my second issue, which is the intros. There's the same episode which chronicles the it's called Hard Times. Chronicles the hard times between Michael Sheen's character and David Tennant's character. That whole 30 minutes is before the intro scene, which kind of throws off the pacing of the show. But the intro kind of lasts a good 10-20 minutes too. So by the time the intro is done, you're thrusted into this new scene that completely contradicts what came before the intro. So that's kind of one thing that I have to say about it. And the ending, that's my very last thing that I don't like about it, really. I'm assuming that they're saying that, because it is said that, God does not play games with the universe. It does not play dice or cards with the universe. She has a laid out plan, and usually she's the only one who knows it. And when she tells you what the plan is, then you will be tasked to enact it. But because she hasn't told anyone yet, they're going off of, quote unquote, what the Bible has said about what the end plan is, and they think that end plan is the inevitable plan, and but they're not quite sure what God's plan is. So the ending kind of leaves off with the Antichrist, which is played by Sam Taylor Buck. It kind of leaves off with him no longer being the Antichrist, and him being a complete human, and everything going back to the way it was. There's even a scene where Michael Sheen's character, he owns a bookshop, and the bookshop burns down, but at the end of the show, it's still there. He even has a brand new set of books. So I'm really not quite sure if that was God's reward for him understanding that what they were doing, other angels, meaning them, they, meaning they, the other angels, what they were doing was not her plan. So it was her reward for saying, you stood by my plan, although you don't know what it is, and I appreciate that. So yeah, that ending was kind of weird to me, and I wonder if it's just like how in American Horror Story, you know, they kill the Antichrist, but then like a couple of scenes later, the Antichrist is born again. I wonder if that's how they're gonna do season 2, if there is a season 2. I hope there is a season 2 of Good Omens, because it's just amazing. They have an amazing cast, amazing writers. The production style is amazing. I love it. There are a lot of things that I had to look up about it. Like, there's a scene where Michael Sheen's character tries to communicate with God. Like, face to face, tries to communicate with God. But instead of God, he gets the Metatron. And I had to look up what the Metatron was, because I was like, I've never heard of the Metatron. And so it has to do with the Kabbalistic religion, and how, you know, if anybody knows, the Kabbalistic religion is kind of based off of the monotheistic Abrahamic religions. So it has a connection to God and everything. I thought that was really interesting. Then there's a lot of jokes about, you know, demons and angels and all that good stuff. Like, there's a joke that in one scene, Michael Sheen's character tries to give books to these German spies, and David Tennant's character comes along and helps him get out of this predicament that he's in, and they're in a church. And because David Tennant is a demon, he has a hard time walking on consecrated ground. I thought it would be a little bit more not tragic, but a little bit more problematic than just him tiptoeing on the ground, but that's what it was. In the end, I really think Good Omens is a great show. It is amazing for this era that we're in. I think it needed to be this 6-episode little show. I hope there's a season 2, because this is only season 1. I really hope it's a season 2. If it's not, then I'm kind of okay with the storyline that they laid out, even though there are a couple of issues in it that I have. Still, I am okay with what they laid out. So, should you see this, Good Omens? I think you should. If you have Amazon Prime, then you should watch it. It is amazing. If you don't have Amazon Prime, then use a friend's Amazon Prime, or you know, something like that, because if not, you're really missing out on Good Omens. Like, really. In conclusion, I have been Jay Bird. This has been The Birdcage. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, please. I need it. Please. Thank you.